First at 4, President Trump is now the first president ever impeached twice. Both Democrat and Republican members fiercely debated exactly 1 week after a violent assault on the Capitol building where 5 people died. Unlike the first impeachment, this time several Republicans are siding with Democrats. The article of impeachment charges the president with inciting the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already named the 9 impeachment managers who will act as prosecutors, making their case before senators. One of those is Congressman Joaquin Castro. But that won't likely begin until after President-elect Joe Biden has taken office.